Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, your dungeon master, him. And today we are starting an adventure that will be very different than previous adventures. An adventure that will be, it's gonna flip a lot of things on its head. We are playing Revenge of the Kobolds, a adventure written by David Flor, also the writer of A Night in Seyvoth Manor, which you may know as our reoccurring Shocktober adventure until we ran that into the ground. And Revenge of the Kobolds is a little bit different because basically I am going to control a party of intrepid, stalwart heroes, just the people that you believe in and that you want to see succeed in life. Clearly, the heroes of our story. I got 5 of them ready to go. They are each of them uniquely, individually developed people that you are going to root for and care about. And I've collected some people to play the disgusting, filthy monsters that live in the dungeon that these heroes are going to
typecasting.
Yep.
That's why I was specially invited. Okay, I get it.
The premise of this adventure, I don't know if I'm really actually, I introduced yourself as Dungeon Master. I guess I'm more like your hero wrangler. And it's like we've got a collective set of Dungeon Masters, a collective, a tribe, a clan of kobolds. That's
Dungeon
right.
Master, I believe, is the term.
Yes. Our adventurers who keep interrupting me are kobolds. Allow me to introduce them, and they will introduce.
We're evil, Tony. Of course we interrupt.
And we'll talk about what they're going to do. First up, he's the most evil, but the most special. It's Steve Lutz.
Yes. I'll accept that. Yes, I am a kobold, as you previously mentioned. In this case, I am a dread warlock. Goes by the name of Yubnub.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Yubnub. Next up, it's Annette Weirster. Welcome, Annette.
Hello, I am playing Sneck, who is a kobold fighter, and my specialty is fighting, not making plans so much.
I've played a fighter in D&D before. I'm familiar with their strengths and limitations.
As the man says, fighting's what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. So.
Also joining us, it's Aline Sims. Hi, Aline.
Hello. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Zess Nix, the cleric, and their pronouns are they, them.
Can I ask you a question about Zesnix's icon that you provided me?
Mm-hmm.
I was a little confused. Is Zesnix wearing a hat or a skull? Or is that Zesnix's
those
head?
are the horns, obviously.
Okay.
How dare you judge their head structure?
Well, there was like a color change there, and I was like, is Zesnix wearing a skull? Whose skull is it? But no, that's just Zesnix's
their
head.
own, yeah.
Okay, Zesnix just has a very skull-like skull.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we all kind of have skull-like
My skull
skulls.
also very skull-like.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry. I guess that was rude of me. Also joining us, it is Kathy Campbell. Kathy, it wouldn't be what this is going to be without you. Thank you for being here.
Whatever that is.
Yep.
Well, I think I'm happy to be here. We'll see. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Da-Dee, whose pronouns are also she, her.
Who's your Da-Dee?
And hey, Tony, what do you do with a green dragon?
What do you do with the green dragon, Kathy?
You wait until it ripens, of course.
Oh, what if it's like is that a banana joke or an avocado joke?
That's a good question. Let's find out later.
Okay, together. And last,
Bet
but
you're glad you
certainly
didn't
not
say
least,
banana.
he's also running our stream and helping us out with the bootleg. It is everyone's favorite Scotsman, James Thompson.
How many choices do you have? I am, my pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Gesto Ohmsman, who is the mechanic of this team, a kobold artificer, who is never without his trusty robot squirrel companion, Pesto. And Pesto will be running the traps for this evening.
Mm-hmm. Is Gesto, whatever you said, some kind of anagram for something?
Yes, it is.
Okay, but you're not going to tell us what it is. We Let's figure that out on our own.
Regular listeners will have worked out that it is an anagram of Samson Jotham, which is also an anagram of James
your own
Thompson.
name? Okay, just checking. It's just when I see a J name and I'm like, I know there's a very similar set of consonants in this name.
I like the fact
I'm not going to do the math. I'm just gonna angrily question you about it.
I like the fact that I got ohms in there from an electrical sense. So that's just my.
All right. Well, those are our kobolds. I think I should take this moment to tell you a little bit about our heroes of this adventure.
Squarespace.
Sorry. Sorry, for some reason that really threw me off. So let me introduce our heroes, and though I will be controlling our heroes, I think it might be fun if some of you, that's you the players, not you the listeners, you can't do what I'm about to ask you to, listeners, provided maybe some voices or sound effects for these heroes, these adventurers, these just the champions of our story. But let me introduce them one by one.
Race for fart noises.
First up, the leader of the group, this is Dogran, a dragonborn fighter. He is just an incredibly charismatic hero, a champion of the people, just a fighter who gets things done. He knows no fear, and I just I basically imagine that he's Captain Kirk if Captain Kirk had like a lizard head, which he may have had in one adventure. I haven't seen all of them, but just the real charismatic leader. And I think that I'm going to recruit Steve Lutz to occasionally provide dialogue and sound effects for Dogran as needed.
Okay.
Dogran is joined by Zedric.
Is that because I'm incredibly charismatic and I get things done, or because I'm a lizard man?
A little from column A, little
We
from
can't
column B.
answer that on a public facing page.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to dox you, Steve.
Okay.
Dogran is joined by Zedric, a second level Eladrin wizard. He's the wizard of the group. I've decided that he is the self-styled, what did I call him? Zedric the Mystic. Zedric has a pet owl named Quora, who I've put on the map because the map can't get cluttered enough. Annette, would you be willing to be a wizard voice and owl sound effects as needed?
Oh, is it because I'm so good at sheep?
Yes, it is. It's what you have.
Yes, I will.
It's the most endorsements for on LinkedIn. So,
I haven't heard the episode that you're referring to, so I'm just going to make my own assumptions about what you mean by that.
Probably safe.
Yep. Dink is the group's thief or a rogue. Dink is a halfling rogue because why would you have any other kind of rogue? Aline, I think I may need you to be Dink as needed. And Rena, Elven Ranger. Kathy, are you up for being an Elven Ranger as needed?
I will do my best.
All right. Rena is a Elven Ranger. She has a beast companion, a wolf named Seraphin, or
a wolf. What's
Sarah,
a wolf?
A wolf.
Okay.
A wolf.
Okay.
And last but certainly not least, Ogden, the Dwarven cleric. James, I may ask you to provide some Ogden dialogue for us.
Because
they're already on the map, but I've decided that this is a brave adventuring party. They have no qualms about splitting the party. So just make sure I get the names right here. They're obscured by things. Dogran, Ogden, and Rena are in one corner, and Dink and Zedric are in the other corner. There are two entrances to the Kobold cave system that these heroes will be exploring.
Yes,
they're also
split off the rogue and the wizard from the people who could actually fight.
They are also
they are clearly geniuses.
Mm-hmm. They have some hired help, people that will at the very least help them carry home the loot. They have four henchmen that I have named Barnabas, Marion, Justice, and Hubert, who may or may not die before you encounter them based on the quality of your traps that you deploy. So that is the opposing team of our Revenge of the Kobolds scenario here.
Why do we not get to have henchmen when we go into these dungeons?
Because we're more
You
competent.
could spend your money on that, yeah.
Nobody told me
mainly
that.
so that because you'd make me voice them probably. I've given you guest stars all the time. Also,
There's
you
always
have a
extra.
robot rat or mouse or panda or squirrel in like every appearance. So
Fine.
the premise is that you are basically kind of the champions of the tribe and have been out on a scouting, hunting, supplies run, and will have returned to the caves to unfortunately find that these heroes have murdered all of your friends and family, and it is time for you to take revenge.
Definition of hero.
Yes. So I will tell you, as the diligent champions of the tribe, you do have a variety of supplies and accoutrements that go above and beyond your normal kobold outfittings. So this is the time where we need to do some figuring out. I think I've given you all the Revenge of the Kobolds player's guide. So you have some money that you can spend on supplies, and particularly kobolds are known for their uses of, they have these little clay pots with various chemical substances in them. So I think that perhaps some of you have either already made decisions or would want to make decisions now about arming yourselves with various not improvised, but specifically kobold crafted weapons that could help you out. So for our listeners, kobolds are known for the use of stink pots, which coat the person that the pockets start out with noxious liquid. Glue pot, sticky, traps you in place. Fire pot, that's bad. Fire. Acid pot, it really does what it says on the label. There's a flash pot, which is like a flashbang, and a smoke pot, which is a
crime.
There's some question as to what the label that says acid pot is supposed to do.
Steve, we know you're confused. It's okay.
It coats somebody in corrosive acid, causing them to take acid damage.
Okay, so it's not a don't eat the brown acid pot situation here.
The adventurers also, I believe you designated, I was going to say James, but I should say Jesto as your trap master. So kobolds are known for crafting and maintaining and operating traps. So though you have gone off on a scouting expedition, you have left the cave system provisioned with traps that will hopefully deter intruders, or at least mortally wound the henchmen they hire. So as a group, you have resource points to deploy on traps. You can use these to purchase traps from the list of traps I provided you with. You could also potentially purchase minions if you want, which are either kobolds that follow you around, or giant rats, or giant fire beetles. The traps that you have to pick through include things like concealed pit, giant boulder, classic horizontal blades, poison dart trap. You can also leave things like piles of debris, or as James would say, debris, and explosive barrels around your cave system. So this is the fun part of the adventure, where you have a meeting to talk about how you equip your dungeon. That's right. On a podcast, you do the stuff that I would normally do for an adventure as homework before the podcast.
Yes, it's our morning tag up.
We decided this would be more fun. Maybe not for you.
Yeah. Commence planning here. And I'll remind adventurers, you're in roll 20. Sorry, not adventurers, filthy kobolds. You can use the draw square and text to label where you want your traps and whatnot. But I want you to be thinking about where are you going to put some traps.
Oh, we know all about drawing on maps.
We also know planning. We're very good at plans.
I did select a team for this adventure who are expert planners. Each of you, I got nothing else to say about planning because
you didn't plan anything to say, did you? I thought not.
Not so much.
Okay.
All right. So we have 40 resource points, right?
Yeah.
That we
Yep.
can
Yes.
divvy up.
And 500 gold pieces. Or did we, Aline, did you spend your 50? Or did you swap?
I swapped.
Well, I spent my 50, so...
Is that what you spent all half your money on a Robot squirrel? Is that what you did?
No, the robot
James?
squirrel was free. No, I spent it on chainmail shirt made of pure Beskar.
Crossing streams. So yeah, you've got 40 points, which you could spend on these traps. You could spend on minions. You could spend on.
Could we
other
use the
things.
money to buy off the henchmen?
No.
It's like a poor use.
Yeah.
Of the
I will
funds.
tell you.
I
I
just
will
bought
tell
stink
you.
pots.
I wouldn't invest heavily in these henchmen. Each of them is wearing a fresh crimson cloak, and they did not come with names in the adventure as provided. These are not people to get attached to.
Oh, is that like a threat, Tony? Because
No, I'm just saying that
you know our history of getting attached to unnamed characters.
We'll give them.
I
names.
did not name the tokens, but Hubert is my favorite.
Yeah.
Surely he will not die minutes into this.
Hubert
dungeon.
dies first. Make a note.
Yeah.
So I would think we should organize our traps and obstacles, and then anything we have left over we can use on a couple of minions and or animal companions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if we have anything left over after that, then we get it in the form of a gift certificate or a money order.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
old reference lost on younger viewers. Thank you very much.
We're all old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then I would also think, since we have a trap master that can reset our traps, that we probably favor things that can be reset and reused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
I
a
mean,
couple there that, like, once they blow up, you can't unblow them.
Yep.
I do kind of like the giant boulder, but
I feel like it would be good to have one of those.
Because it would be fun.
Yeah. And I like the idea. Hold on.
And the nice thing about that too is that once it's fallen, I think medium-sized creatures have trouble getting around it. Oh, it's blocking terrain, but we are small, so we can move
We are
around it as though it's
small.
difficult.
yeah,
I
So if we
like
put
the
it in
idea
a-
of putting the boulder like right here.
Where's that?
blocking the entrance so they don't get in. I like the idea.
I think it's better if we block off some of these passages in the central area, because otherwise they can chase us more easily.
True.
'Cause I have a feeling these guys are going to be quite a bit more powerful than us in general. So we're going to have to do a little bit of go in and attack one guy and then run away for a little while and then come back a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of these doorways in the middle here that are, there's multiple ways to enter into this central chamber. I think it would be a good idea to kind of potentially block one of those with boulders,
Yeah.
so we have more ways that we can escape.
This sounds smart.
Do
Maybe
we want
just
to
this
block
one actually.
the
is
middle
so
one? I was going to
smart.
say.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
that central door. Can we put it in a doorway though? It has to be in a hallway.
Can we put like the
It's hidden in the
because
roof.
something like the
Actually, right here is the perfect place, because then, well, I don't know how big is it? It's 5 by 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
these
so that's
squares-
not going to block. Those are 5 by 5
I think the
squares.
squares are 5 by 5.
We're
Squares
going
are
to
5 by
need 2
5, so-
boulders, is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
That's true. If we want to block a whole hallway, definitely.
Why don't we just buy all boulders?
Just block all of the
It's
we
just
got
like
one here, and one here.
our sort
and
of
I
fail-safe
think
plan.
the horizontal blades don't need to be reactivated. They just don't. They just keep going.
Blading.
Yeah, and the thing with the boulder is if they detect it and disarm it, if we spend all the resources on 2,
One of the
hoping
things
to block a corridor.
we
Yeah.
can, the trap master can trigger traps. So, if they're getting near something like a giant boulder, we can possibly trigger it before they can do anything. But yeah, I like the blades.
Oh yeah, you're right, because the other traps, the poison dart trap says it must be manually reset. That one does not. So
Yeah, all
I think we can
blades.
assume
Good idea.
that if
And we
these
can have
guys are
the
dumb enough to
poison
run
dart
through the same
traps.
area twice, they can get hit by that twice without us having to do anything.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
but they can also, if we reset the poison darts, then we could just also.
the blades have an
Right.
effect within 10 feet, I think. Yeah.
So
So
if
that
putting
is
it
the
on a
width.
wall, could we
but-
put it by a door?
Well, that's
and
what I
just,
say.
like-
It's the width of a door.
yeah.
So if we put some of those blades, we could put it on that central doorway
Yeah.
that we were talking about, and then anyone who goes through the door gets
Now, the other thing we
cut
should
down
be
to
aware of is that
size.
some of these will trigger when any creature passes within 50 feet, like the poison darts, but the horizontal blades and some of the others require that a medium-sized creature enter the area. And since we're small, we won't trigger those, so we don't have to worry about
How big
getting
are their
shot by our own
henchmen?
traps.
Do they have tiny?
Their henchmen are human or human equivalent, so they're all medium.
Wow. Okay.
Do they have any small?
got an
Let me just
owl.
check. Is Dink? Dink might be small.
It would actually he's quite large for
No, Dink is small.
it's an
Everyone else
ironic
is
name.
everyone else is medium. The owl is tiny. I don't think the owl activates any traps.
But we can drop a boulder on it, and that would be funny.
Aw.
We feel very differently about owl
The owl's
murder
name
here
is
in North America,
Hedwig.
James.
I like personally, I don't have a problem with owls.
Professionally,
Professionally, wow.
Owls are very calculator hostile. It's a little known fact.
Mm,
You don't see any owl
Oh.
dice in his app.
Yeah, this is true.
yeah.
Why did we
Owls are
build
like
such a wide lair when we're so small? I thought like one of the things that when you were a kobold was you made small tunnels so that
Well, you've got this cave system. I assume it's a natural cave system, or perhaps dug by something larger that you have repurposed.
I see.
You do have a series. This is the part of the podcast that doesn't work great as a podcast, but our players are looking at a map I have given them with a series of interconnected passageways and tunnels and whatnot. I will point out that all of your caverns in your den are connected by tiny little tunnels that only you can access and use.
Oh, right. Yeah, so that's right. So maybe we don't need to worry so much about blocking off central passageways.
For
'cause as long as
ourselves,
we can
yeah.
all duck into somewhere and reappear instantly
Yeah.
on the opposite side
And I
of the
think
map.
all the main chambers
Yeah, everything
Have a
but
little
this
hatch
chamber
that are-
has a hatch in it.
And it takes 10 feet of movement to get in, but once we're there, you appear instantly at one of the other exits.
Yes.
Yeah, but you
Mhm.
can't loiter in them, which is
You can't loiter in a tunnel.
You have to like pop out.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's fine, because if we're just trying to get the heck away from an adventurer, then
yeah.
Yeah.
that's all.
And we get
need
to
do.
choose where we pop out.
Yes.
Okay.
I like
I mean,
the idea of making it random,
Yeah.
though.
Did I
Roll
not
a
mention
dice.
Kobold tunnels are traditionally a slip and slide, and
Well, look at your character's intelligence. You might end up anywhere if it's really low.
yeah,
He keeps forgetting the way that the tunnels go. So
I love
It should be that one of the exit tunnels is also the same as the tunnel you just went in. So if you roll a 1, you end
You,
back.
like pop right back out.
hello.
Maybe that's
yeah, I've
next
got
time.
30 feet of movement, so I could do a whole like Scooby-Doo
Mhm.
sequence with just one turn.
So I'm looking at the map, and we've got the adventurers coming in at the bottom left and bottom right. So
Technically, you don't know that, but whatever.
well, okay,
We have
we know the
entrances
main
at the bottom
entrances
left.
you
to
have
our
entrances. You have two entrances you want to protect to your den.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what I'm thinking is that central bit, is that the most obvious route that they're going to take? Like, as people come in, which way are they going to go?
We could also funnel them into that by making it harder to go out, so they always have to come in and out of that one entrance.
That's true. We could
That's
drop
a
a
good
couple of
idea.
boulders here. and
Boulders
force
are
them
like-
through there. Boulders are blocking for them.
They're blocking, but they're 8 points each, and we've got 40.
Yeah.
Right. They're expensive, but
So
I
you
mean,
know,
that's probably the most effective way to funnel
Yeah.
them.
you might think of it that each of you basically gets to choose a trap, right? And some of you will have some change that you could spend on other things, but right, because you have what, 8 points each, and a boulder is 8 points.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
am I saying
and we
the
could
math?
still get like a couple, or
Yeah.
at least 3 or 4 poison dart and blades to put other
Mhm.
places.
So I'm just pointing out that the boulder is the most expensive of your traps.
So it's clearly
What's your cheapest trap? Is
All
it
right,
just
so-
pit? Pit is cheapest. cheapest.
debris pile. That
I don't
most
think that's
exciting of
not-
trap.
I don't
We
think that's a
can, we can
trap.
hide behind that,
Just-
though.
No,
That's
okay,
just-
that's an
we can.
obstacle, but yes.
So let me suggest then that we put some blade trap like right here,
Okay.
so that any travel through the central section, they're going to have to deal with those blades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So yeah, if they come in through this door on the southwest and they walk through that area, they'll get hit. If they're not careful when they're coming through the other 2 doors, they might also get hit, and those automatically reset. So
Yeah, and there's that nice point right there that you come around the corner and you can have like whoosh, it'd be harder to see right where
Right.
you put. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we agreed on that one.
Yep.
Yep.
Seconded
Yes.
on the
All right.
blades.
Somebody want to drop
Yeah.
some blade traps in there?
Okay.
What are your blade traps are?
So it's a 10 by 10 square that affects.
Okay, cool.
So this will be. We'll make them like classic Atari adventure blades.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Pew pew.
I like it.
All right.
The
That
blades
is
you've-
one trap that you have committed to.
6
So what did we spend then?
Good
We
job.
spent 6?
Good job. Yeah.
That was 6, yeah.
All right.
Next.
Well, should we put the 2 boulders where we were thinking at those 2 separate points?
It's up to you guys if you want to do
I
that.
think the boulders might be a bit expensive.
For what it
They're so
does.
fun, though.
I know.
They are. I love the boulders. And every time I hear the boulders, I think of Avatar: The Last Airbender and the boulder. So, yeah.
So there's a bonus value
There's a
to
bonus
them. That is-
voice
yeah.
that comes.
So are we going to block one of the...
Well, it's expensive, but it creates a permanent block. I don't think they can move it.
Well, if we
Oh, no, they
create-
can't. They could try to destroy it if they wanted to hack at it.
But the thing is, we need 2 to block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
you're
that's
spending
16.
Yeah. If we could block a tunnel with 1, I would be all for it. But that's
Yeah.
a lot of resources.
That's true.
Let's see how
That's
much
true.
money we've got left after we put a few more things in.
Okay. What if we put some poison darts at those points instead?
The darts are the ones that don't.
They need to be reset, but
Yeah.
they
They
can
can be.
they can
I mean,
be
that's-
used indefinitely.
That's what the trap master can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
It's the barrels can't be reused.
I mean,
Once
I
they've
like the
exploded, there's not
explosive
much you can
barrels
do.
just from a Doom kind of perspective.
And we should try a little of everything.
Yeah.
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 I encourage variety.
We have a sort
Variety
of
is the trap of life.
a buffet here of things, and you want to try a little bit, but you don't want to fill up on any one thing.
So are we talking about putting those near one of the entrances? Am I following that?
Yeah, I mean the darts.
The only problem with the
Because we
entrances
can
is they'll
trigger the
never
darts.
pass them again. Is the problem?
Yeah,
it says
that's-
when
yeah.
Those middle ones on the side.
when the creature passes within 50 feet of the trap activates and makes an attack as a free action. So
Oh.
basically anywhere.
Ooh,
Like-
we could put it in a like.
Well, we could put it. We could put it like facing the entry tunnels, but in towards the middle. So, like, where is the little tool? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Look over in there. Well, how far is 50 feet?
That's.
But these are these 5 or
Five.
these are
10 to
5?
5.
10 squares, yeah.
It's so quite a
So
space.
like it would be like almost anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It would be. We could basically cover those 2 first entrance rooms.
Yeah. Like right there. And it would do all the
If you-
way.
If you did here, you could also have if someone came through the horizontally or if they came in through the top.
Where? I didn't see your thing.
Like here.
Tony, maybe you can
Okay.
shed some light on this, but this player's guide
Yeah.
refers to kind of a couple of phases. Initial discovery, which I'm guessing means the heroes wander through the caves before
Yes.
we return to the caves.
Correct.
So some of these traps will be activated before we even get in here.
I believe many of them probably,
And
right?
so,
So the
yeah.
heroes are going to wander in. I've kind of set paths for them where they're going to. I have basically preset. This is what they're going to do, and
Right.
they're going to move from chamber to chamber doing stuff.
Right.
And I suspect they will set off a lot of your traps.
And some of these
Um,
traps gain advantage if they don't know where the trap is. So probably the first time in initial discovery, they're going to get nailed
Yeah.
by something more likely. than they
Basically,
are
I mean,
when we're
it
actually
follows.
in the lair.
Yeah, it follows similar mechanics to what you experience as player characters, where they're going to be rolling to detect traps, and then I think the rogue at the very least will then attempt to disarm traps. And they may or may not be able to detect all your traps. They may or may not be able to disarm all your traps. Some of your traps may be detected and disarmed.
Could we put the darts there and then have a boulder above the darts so that when they go in to try and disarm them, we drop a boulder on them?
They can still, I mean, you know, they have to roll to detect each thing, but they can detect your, you know, if they detect traps, they detect all your traps. You cannot make an undisarmable trap. That would be a huge safety hazard for your. Remember, this is your house.
So if we had 2 traps in the same area, you're saying a single roll would detect?
No, I would roll twice.
Okay.
But you know,
so we could still be.
But you can't combine traps into some impossible to disarm trap. Right?
6 traps in the same spot.
Yeah.
You dropped.
I drew a rectangle
above a pit.
What if you put a pit inside a pit?
Good luck detecting the pit, but that's what I'm saying.
Wow,
yeah,
now you're putting a hat on a hat. And
well, that is a classic Kobold fashion statement. I have drawn a rectangle for your dart trap. I don't know if that is correct. But
I think that's a reasonable.
I feel like that's
that
good.
looks good.
I like that. Do we want to match that on the other side, or do we want to mix it up a bit and have something different?
What if we have like an explosive barrel like here?
That seems good. They'll probably trigger that on their way through.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
is it a little too obvious to stick a barrel in a random hallway between rooms?
And then we put some.
We're kobolds, not geniuses.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to blow the doors off, but if we could put it, I don't know. I like the sort of tucking it behind here, so that when they just walk into the room, if they're not paying attention, it'll just get them.
Do barrels self-detonate?
They do.
Okay, I have not read the traps as close as you because that's not my job in this adventure. That just seems
the barrels. It says waiting to be triggered if someone so much as looks at it wrong. So I think they are.
They have to pass through its space, according to this, in initial discovery at least.
Wow.
So we put it like here.
I guess.
Wait, no, we want to put it on the other side away from the rogue.
You don't know where the rogue's going. I might switch it up now that I've shown you.
Sneaky.
So they have to walk through the square.
Pass through the barrel's space is my question.
Yeah, I think the barrel is more something you trigger during combat, right? Is my reading of that. Is that's probably going to be more useful to you, is that they happen to be standing near a barrel.
Barrels are 4, right? So 2 barrels would cost us 8, and we could block a passageway with 2 barrels.
True.
So why don't we put 2 barrels? Why don't we put 2 barrels in this right entranceway?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Although I do enjoy the idea of having a barrel that we can blow up during combat, Doom style.
Yeah. I mean, we might have money left over. We could have a barrel right next to, like, wherever they think the main treasure is.
And that, fast forward to it, and they spent all their money on barrels.
Well, so far, if we have 2 barrels, we have now spent 20.
See, and that makes more sense, too, because I could see them walking through and going, these idiot kobolds thought they could block this whole passageway with these 2 barrels.
Yeah.
And they'd walk on by without thinking about it, and then they blow up. All right, I'm down.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, it traps them in there so they can't escape that way. Jerks.
I don't think that blocks. Does it block?
It blocks.
Terrain.
It is blocking terrain, so I think it makes it difficult, not
impossible.
Impossible.
It says also the trap cannot be disarmed, so they cannot
blocking
disarm.
Terrain is legitimately blocking. Because we can move around as if it's difficult terrain.
Yeah, it says any medium-sized creature is blocking terrain, and any small-sized creature can move around. So maybe the halfling escapes, but everybody else.
Yeah.
But it says it can't be disarmed. I think that's important.
Yeah, that's good.
It says that?
Yep.
Yep.
It says
under effect.
You see, we are rules lawyers, and we have read this thing.
Because we're in charge of the rules. We are.
I thought you guys were going to be less prepared.
Well, I think that's our
but also
for,
more
for not being able to reset that trap.
So I think, like, if they want to get past it, the only way that they can do that is to send the owl in.
Because that's blocking terrain, though, is it more effective to use it in a hallway inside somewhere to block off that terrain?
I don't know, because
how
they're all
useful
going to
is
be
it?
standing there when those things go up.
Well, half of them.
Well, yeah, half of a
They're
half
splitting
Potentially.
the party.
This says like that the rogue can disarm it.
Yeah. Only
If
if, the
a rogue
is
is the first to encounter
They
the
can
barrel.
attempt to disarm it, but
Yeah.
it says
Do we want to switch barrel plan over to the left-hand side and switch dart trap to the right-hand side?
Maybe.
Yeah, I
No,
think we
because
should.
Tony's going to be a jerk and he's going to switch the rogue onto whatever
Uh-huh.
side.
I am your friend, you filthy, disgusting, scaly monster.
I noticed that all the heroes have moved to the middle section to
Yeah.
be distributed.
yeah, he has. We could put it somewhere like
I may
here.
randomly assign them using dice. I would not use information against you.
What if we had some
As we
regular?
just tried to do to you.
What if we had some regular barrels and some explosive barrels, and Tony doesn't know which is which?
That seems only fair.
Let's.
How much
keep-
of your points are you going to send on regular barrels?
Well, I can see one in the map right up at the top. So
All right, let's keep it moving. Let me ask you this:
Okay.
are you going to buy one of every trap, and then is it just for variety, and then it's deciding where they go?
I think we're going to
That sounds
see
about right.
how it goes
Yeah.
because
We may end up without enough to buy a boulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it
'Cause-
has
so
limited
you-
utility if it can only
I think
block
if you
one.
buy one of each trap, you get a free boulder. That's the deal from this.
So-
Did we buy these from Snick and Snack? Is that
What is it?
Snick,
What
snap,
is
and
it?
snack.
What does it look like to buy a concealed pit from Stick and Sack?
They send
It's
somebody
like
around
a
to take
round
away.
black
yeah.
like
circle?
it's rolled out, and then it
you
says dig
and then
here.
you unfold it and
Yeah.
you throw it like a frisbee and it blossoms.
I think they just wander around your lair until they find a pre-existing hole, and then they say,
they,
"Here's your pit."
they charge you for it.
Okay, what else have we got?
So we just mentioned concealed pit. You have not.
We
deployed
haven't
the
put a
concealed
pit.
the,
No.
the thing with the pit is that they can just get out of it. So it doesn't seem.
It's
No,
not
but-
as exciting.
But it's a classic. You gotta.
It is.
Yeah.
I think we use the pit as
What
a
if we
fake
put
out.
it somewhere here?
or like around the blades, like double
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
they're running out of the blades
think
and then
that- they fall in the pit.
Yeah, okay, I like
It-
that.
I like that.
Have we
Like
kept
that?
track of how
Sorry
much
about
we
that.
spent so far? We've got.
Yes, we spent 20, and if we take the trap, we're up to 25.
Okay. So like
Or the pit.
And it's
the
a
concealed pit.
10 by 10 area. So like right here.
Put it right on the other side of the door.
Yeah, I think so.
Am I in
That's
charge of drawing
classic pit
pits? Is
placement.
that what?
Here?
Is that what I do?
Right here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a pit.
Okay, so
Now that's
I
a
think
pit.
that's good.
That's not a pit. That's a pit.
How's that? There.
Nice.
I made it 3-dimensional.
Is it 10 by 10? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
You want more
Wow.
pits?
no, I'm just thinking that's good.
A lot of pit.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
that's
going to
a-
dig
That's
a
a
pit,
value
don't
pit.
dig
That's
a
Stick and
5x5
Sack's value
pit.
pit.
I'm just saying a 10 by 10 pit will get everybody in a hallway, which is nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it doesn't actually do much. That's the problem.
They don't have to walk over that pit, is my thing. If they're walking through a hallway and they could just pass through and completely miss that pit, which would make
Yeah.
me super sad.
All right, what else?
Yeah.
What else do we want from the catalog?
So we have 15 left.
I think
We
we need
have
a minion
15.
or two, so we should save some left over for somebody to have a companion and or a minion,
Yeah, I think.
because we're going to need some cannon fodder.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've just noticed if you scroll past the map, we have poison barrels, which are a different kind of barrel, and they're only 3.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And they seem to
Let's do
work
a
pretty
Fill
much the same.
An entire barrel with poison? That seems dangerous.
Well, where else are you going to keep your poison?
What if we put them like over here? Oh, that was the wrong button. Like over here. So it's like the right side is the barrel side.
Barrel Town.
I think we should mix it up and have the barrels on the other side, because if the people have come in and they've just dealt with our barrels, they're going to be suspicious of the next barrels, whereas the other side, they don't have that
Has it,
barrel
yeah.
fear.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
So I would say we block. Where do we want to do it? Like,
We haven't done anything like over here.
Yeah, I was told that
Or-
that's not where we should put the barrels.
I was just-
Or
Like,
here.
Can I
as
make a
the,
pitch to move the pit to somewhere in one of those hallways?
Sure.
Because what I'm thinking is if we get to a point where the heroes are retreating from us and they're already aware of the pit, having already discovered it or fallen into it, and we've reset it, there's still a chance we can push them over the pit again in that case. But if they already know this pit is down here, they're just going to choose not to walk that way. They're going to run down one of the other halls. I'm just thinking it's better in a more of a choke point.
okay.
Sure. Which choke point are you thinking?
Well, either of these two halls seem good to me.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like it here. That's a good part. Good place for
We
it.
have nothing in that area yet.
I mean, we've already got the
Here.
blades in the central hallway. Although I like the idea of like them running from the blades into the pit, but at the same time, I think we may get more use out of it. I think we may actually get to use it twice as opposed to, well, once it's shot,
Yeah.
it's shot.
Okay. But
Okay.
do we want to double barrel some poison somewhere?
Double barreled. Yeah, I think so. I love
Is
barrels.
this was poison
I'm
here?
a big barrel
Yeah, I
fan.
think we're going to do 2 up in that top corner.
Sure.
What if we
Yeah.
do like one over here, like further?
Well, it blocks the path.
Oh, that's right, because they have to like touch it.
yeah, and then when they
basically.
touch it, poison.
So we could re-poison them if they have to run over it.
The barrels cannot be reset, so these are one-offs.
Right.
Is the poison barrel explosive, or is it just like touching this barrel is poison? Is the barrel made of poison?
It says the nondescript barrel contains a poisonous mixture waiting to be triggered if someone so much as looks at it wrong, much like the
Got
other one. But it doesn't say, like, does the poison spray out the side, or is it just a contact poison? That,
I think it's whatever we decide that it is.
I think
You know,
you're right.
if we
It says-
really
it
go
says
work
det-
with the
it does
poison
say
It says
barrel.
detonate.
The action says detonate.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No,
Fif-
which I
in-
interpret
within
as
15 feet of it. So
I
that's
interpret
like
it as the
spray.
contents of the barrel are poison, and an adventurer has to eat them in order to be.
it's really it's food
The-
that has gone off, which we were keeping.
The
in the barrel.
Dragonborn fighter just says that barrel looks delicious.
It was a barrel of spam that was here
Yeah.
when we moved in.
I just
no.
I thought our
It's ready to
Dragonborn
pop.
poison resistant.
Sounds delicious.
They are not usually. You're thinking of dwarves.
Yes, I always get those two confused.
They're
do
so
both.
similar.
Start with D. Sometimes the Dragonborn, depending on what their lineage is, can have things.
Like an acid
Aren't they? I was gonna say acid. Yeah.
or flame.
I will tell you, you don't actually know this, but just for Dogran is a noble bronze Dragonborn, so he is probably resistant to lightning.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, we
so
don't have
no
any
lightning
lightning
traps.
barrels.
Just
so we're
imagine
good.
if you were not already imagining Dogran as a kind of a coppery bronze Dragonborn crackling with electricity and just super charismatic. It's important that I really underline how attractive this Dragonborn is.
If he's
Please
crackling with
update your
electricity,
mental
can we
images.
fill something full of gas and just have him ignite it?
Who live here? You can't have a plastic bag full of gasoline hanging.
What's up in our
yeah.
secret
never know what you're
tunnels?
gonna need.
You don't own us,
you know,
Tony.
I've looked up a lot of Florida man stuff. You can actually have.
Steve, I think most
Kobold
of the
man.
stories end in a headline, if I recall.
Yeah,
So
the good ones
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So did we buy 2 barrels? Is that what these little these?
Yeah, we've got
Yes.
2.
Or
So we
did
have
we buy
9
two-
points
Did we
left.
buy 2 databases and put them in the hallway?
We're gonna mine some crypto.
Mm.
I bet some of these adventurers have NFTs.
Mm.
They are NFTs.
All right,
So
so
that
we're down
means
to
we have
9.
9 points left, which means we
Okay.
could have 3 companions.
We could have 3
The companions have more hit points than the minions.
Yeah,
No.
but
you're right.
yeah,
sorry.
companions have a few more.
And
Minions are
rats have
minions.
more
They're-
hit points than beetles.
That's just
Beetles
math.
are cool.
I mean,
They
it's
are
a
cool.
fire beetle.
Or-
I mean, it's not a fire rat.
It is not.
Any rat can become a fire rat
If you try
hard
hard enough.
We've got
yeah,
an odd number, so we can either get 3 animal companions or a animal companion and 3 minions.
Some piles of trash to really round out the group.
The minions only have 1 hit point, so they would
Yeah.
only be 1.
Yeah, so you need numbers for those to be useful.
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
fine. I mean, you can leave 1 behind as you run down the hallway. So
I
take
would-
care of these adventurers.
I would say get 3 of the companions. They seem a bit like they're companions. They're friends, not
Yeah.
just minions. Unless
And
we
the
want to go
beetle-
on the giant.
The beetle
boulder.
sheds light.
Ooh, the fire beetle. They have 4 hit points too.
And the rats
They're
have
all in
7.
Rats have
7.
7. I think
I
we
can
should get
read.
rats.
See, the fire beetle is so underpowered compared to this. It almost
Yeah.
seems like a mistake.
And
The fire
'Cause it-
beetle has armor class of 13 though.
Well, okay, but
they're
I mean, it
1
only
higher.
does
It's
it only
only-
does 1 slashing damage when it gets a hit, as opposed to 4 piercing damage for the giant rat.
yeah.
Do we,
And we
do-
don't need the illumination from the fire beetle. That's
'Cause
only
that
we
seems
can
like it
still
would
have
hurt
dark
us more
vision.
than help us.
yeah.
Do we want to have a rat room somewhere?
Every good kobold lair has one.
Why would we not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the
have you
rats
seen
that
my
they
keys?
have-
Did you leave them in the rat room?
right.
They have the ability to, they are helpful and supportive of our community and are contributing to the space. So I feel like they should have free reign to be, maneuver wherever they choose to be.
I was, yeah. I mean, do we control them?
Yep.
Yeah.
One person controls.
One
all of
person
them,
would need to be the rat wrangler.
Okay.
which I
No,
think
it's
is
one
just
per
No,
person, I
each
think.
companion must be controlled by a single player. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So we
I
need-
was mixing up minions and companions.
So I think
No,
we can have.
I mean, I've got a squirrel, so you can all have rats.
I am your minion. So if everyone else wants to have a companion, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I put 3 rats on the map for you all.
Thank you.
All right.
So allow me to ask a question because I think you've been studying it closer than I am. The rats are with you as opposed to something that you leave in lying in wait for the adventures, right?
Right.
These
Yep.
are companion
It
rats.
says at the start of the adventure, the companions start alongside the players at the lair
Got it.
entrance. So that
So you have been out on a grand adventure with these rats.
we have taken our
come back.
rats out for a walk.
Okay.
Yep.
It looks like Steve claimed a rat. Would other people like to claim one of those 2 remaining rats?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Go for it, Kathy.
Yeah, I grabbed one.
Oh, I need a name for my rat.
I know.
Please name your rat.
Ratty.
The thing I like most about Dungeons and Dragons is how it taps into just the imagination that's deep within all of us. Just
Ben-
Mine
Ben
is
and
called
Willard are both
Princess,
still available.
please.
the world building. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to be renaming a rat token for somebody?
Yes. Oh, wait. Oh, I figured out I can.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. What else do you need to do?
Let's see. So we spent all our thing. We've got. We need to decide what we're buying in terms of. Pots.
Yeah. Have people spent their money on ammunition?
I've got. 50.
I bought 100 gold pieces worth of pot.
I also bought 100 gold pieces.
I see
worth
no
of
way
pot.
that will be ever used outside of context.
So I've only got 50 left. So I'm gonna get.
You can get plenty of pots for that.
It'd be cool if you could trade some of the gold for more resource points.
Oh, I like this thought.
And yet you can't. Too bad.
This is the first edition. I'm just throwing suggestions out there.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll have a fire pot, an acid pot, and a glue pot. I should write that down.
I took an acid pot, a fire pot, 2 glue pots, and 5 stink pots.
Mm.
All right.
I have 100 gold to spend.
By the way, if we can find a gem that is worth more than 100 gold pieces, I can make another squirrel.
Okay.
I'm sure we've hidden gems in our home lair that we don't know about.
Just saying, if any of these adventurers have a gem on them, it's squirrel time. Technically, that would be a homunculus squirrel rather than a steel defender squirrel, but...
I think I'm going to do like 2 fire pots and the rest stink pots.
All right. I think my math is right. If I do 1 fire, 2 glue, 1 stink,
Whatever I
1
say
flash and smoke.
bounces off me and sticks to you.
I think that's 100. If only I had an app that could like
Calculate
things.
Calculate.
It would never happen.
I took a lot of glue just because I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of running away and being.
I'm familiar with your
Nice and
childhood.
That's why
Steve.
I-
Yes.
Glue,
Yeah.
acid,
Good idea.
pot, yeah.
That's right.
Glue seems
Yeah.
fun.
I like
Yeah.
the stink pots. The stink pots.
Oh
give
yeah,
pots.
man, it's so fun.
For
Yeah,
those
pots,
listening,
I just-
stink pots give disadvantage. Let's see. Every creature within a 10-foot radius must do a DC Constitution save, and if they fail, they are coated in a noxious liquid that lasts for 1 minute, and they have disadvantage on attack rolls. And then they can save against it. Glue pots, if they fail their save, they are restrained, which is very convenient. A fire pot, I'm trying to skim as I'm talking. It's not effective. A fire pot, of course, does fire damage.
Go on fire.
Yeah. Acid pots, acid damage. Flash pot blinds affected creatures, and a smoke pot creates a heavily obscured area. I actually might do a fire pot, a smoke pot. Wow, this is like I do live in Seattle, so like this is legal, people.
It's legal in Canada.
So the thing about the fire pot and the acid pots is neither one of them takes effect immediately. It happens at the
Yeah.
end of their turn,
Yeah.
and they can so effectively they're either taking damage or they're using their action. So they've lost basically an attack,
Yeah, that's true.
or they
Yeah.
get hurt.
I think I might do 2 smoke pots and the rest stink pots.
The thing that the issue I had with the stink pots was that it's a Constitution saving throw, and adventurers tend to have decent Constitution.
Yeah, it is a DC 15 though,
And
which
then
is
It's fair. I mean, who
It's
knows how
fairly
strong
high.
these adventurers
Yeah.
are?
Who knows how strong these adventurers are?
And then the glue pots, they can choose to use dexterity or strength for the initial saving throw, but then on the subsequent turn, they can only use strength. So they're probably going to be more useful against the rogue and the ranger,
I'm thinking I'm going to take one of
making
my
them stay in place for.
I'm going to take my fire pot back to the shop and going to swap it for 3 glue because I think that might be more useful.
All right. I am not overthinking it, and I'm sticking with my 1 of everything but 2 glue.
Yeah. I should say it's very helpful if you're throwing it at like a fighter to prevent them from making an attack the next turn,
Yeah.
because it is a dex saving throw. So if you've got like a big tank that you're trying to take down, he's likely not to have a ton of dexterity. So you're basically he's losing his opportunity to take 1 or more attacks if he's got multi-attack on the next turn, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
okay. Well, I have
I think-
smoke pots and stink pots. That's where I've landed.
All right.
So
Is there any other preparations that you need to do?
So they're going to come in. They're
You
going
need to
to
get a good night's sleep.
I know. Or a fresh, refreshing walk outside with
You'll go for a night. Yeah.
Literally said we've just had a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the player's guide.
I will tell you this adventure will include no short or long rests in it once we get going.
I had a feeling that was the case,
Yeah.
which is not great for my warlock, but that's okay.
All right. Well, adventurers, I think you have prepped your den, you have outfitted your characters, you have bought some rats. Truly, the stuff epic stories are made of. How will the heroes of our story do against the various home defenses that you have left in their wake? For answers to questions such as that, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.